SIM registration statistics indicate that as at 28th July 2022, the total number of voice SIMs stood at 41,979,398. Out of this number, 15,395,607 have linked their Ghana cards to their SIM cards. The total number of voice SIM card registrations for existing subscribers are presented below. And I'll go through it. As at 28th July. Hang on. I have to go back. As at 28th July, the total voice SIMs were 42,121,921. That's the information provided me by the NCA. Stage 1 registrations as at that date, 28th July, were 25,260,661, representing 60% of total registrations. Stage 1 of unregistered SIMs were 16,861,260, representing 40%. Stage 2, i.e. those who had fully completed the registration process, were 16,059,350, representing 38%. Unregistered SIMs were 26,062,571, representing 62%. The challenges that have bedeviled these exercises include: 1, the self-service SIM registration app will be ready for commercial launch on Tuesday, 2nd August, as the virtual private network connectivity and API integration with all MNOs was only completed this weekend due to unavoidable circumstances. Adequate time will also be required for the publicity and public education on the use of the self-service SIM registration app, which will enable you to register yourself in the privacy of your own homes without having to queue or go to any network operator. Delays in the issuance of the Ghana card was the largest single challenge bedeviling this exercise. And my information is that the NIA has not been able to issue all eligible persons with a Ghana card, and that as of Thursday, July 21st, 2022, 16,969,034 individuals have registered for the Ghana card, with about 16,535,623 cards printed. 15,702,719 cards have been issued and distributed, whereas some 832,904 cards have not been distributed or collected by those who applied for them. Broadband wireless access registrations also commenced barely a week ago, and they have only been able to register just about 2% of their subscribers as at Friday, 29th July. Many data-only SIMs have also not been registered, and my information is that their owners were not aware that those SIMs also needed to be registered. Those are the SIMs in your MiFis and other devices, not your phones and iPads and those other, but those data-only SIMs. I believe some of them are even in our electricity meters, if my information is right. So, where do we go from here? The security situation in Bawku and its environs has also made it difficult for the registration of residents and has slowed down the process in that area considerably. Next steps. The SIM registration app will be available for download on both Android and iOS this week, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Each registration via the app will be subject to a 5 cedi surcharge. You will pay 5 cedis to register yourself on the SIM registration app. Non-resident Ghanaians who do not have the Ghana card can use their passports to complete the process via the app, but will be required to update their details with the Ghana card once they acquire it. They have up till December 2022 to do so. I urge them to comply with these directives and to contact the NCA if they have any peculiar challenges. Ghanaians on official assignment outside the country or students on scholarships who cannot acquire the Ghana card by December should also contact the NCA. Special provision has already been made for members of the diplomatic corps in consultation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, and they have been notified. It's also come to my knowledge that amputees and others who have some physical challenge are also a category of persons who are having some difficulties registering their SIMs. We will have discussions with the NIA on how to resolve these challenges. All visitors to Ghana can now acquire SIMs with their passports, and I encourage the airport authority to work with the network operators to provide adequate venues for the acquisition of SIMs at the airport. As indicated earlier, these will be valid for 3 months, and if they want to use them for a longer period, they must acquire the non-citizen ID card to validate their SIMs. Network operators must provision their systems to send notifications to this category of SIM card users. Now to the vexed question of the deadline. The statistics indicate that there was a 90% drop in SIM registrations as soon as the first deadline was extended on 21st March. Until a week ago, there were no queues at any registration center. People started rushing to register when they realized that the deadline was imminent after going to sleep when it was extended. About 50% of those who have completed the first stage of the process have not concluded the second stage. They have linked their SIMs to the Ghana card, and so that cannot be attributed to Ghana card challenges. I've also been informed that some people who have obtained quick loans from their service providers have decided not to register their SIMs to avoid repaying those loans. That is evil corruption, and you will be found out. The MNOs, network operators, and the NCA, and I dare say the NIA too, have all engaged additional staff, procured the necessary logistics, and are incurring significant expenses to conduct this exercise successfully. Any extension of the process increases their costs. Upon consultation with the industry, and in view of the challenges enumerated above, I have very reluctantly decided to grant a final conditional extension. The program will, and I'm choosing my words carefully, the program will be extended to 30th September to end on the anniversary of its commencement. That will give us 1 full year of SIM registration. It will be reviewed at the end of this month, and any SIM that has not been fully registered by the end of August will be barred from receiving certain services, including voice and data services. It will also be more expensive to use unregistered SIMs. The full range of punitive measures will be announced at another press briefing in September. Kindly do not blame your service provider when you suffer that fate due to your own inaction. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. I must end by reminding us all that the Ministry of Communications and Digitalisation is not the supervisory ministry for the national identification